to the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast. We are here to podcast about anything and everything Star Wars with you. Please visit our website where you can play current and past episodes. That's https://RABR KyleJohansson.us. That's RABR KyleJohansson.us. On the left-hand side is a navigation menu. You can use this to learn how to load the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast on your Android or Apple phone and tablet. And we have direct links to our podcast on Apple and Google Podcasts. Please participate by connecting to our social media, answering questions of the week, or submitting feedback directly from the site. Again, all of these are available at the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room website at rabr.kailjohansen.us. And now, it's time to talk Star Wars. I am Kyle John Johansson, and this is Andrew Scott Sutton. Say hello. Again, this is the same day we recorded the other two episodes of our podcast, and Scott is ill. He got himself a flu shot and possibly a COVID booster shot, and is feeling the effects. You know how people sometimes get a little ill when they get a flu shot. So he is not here today. But today we're reviewing Star Wars Andor Episode 3, Reckoning. And we've seen in the previous episodes, we're kind of building up to this episode here, where Cassian got himself in trouble in the beginning. He's looking for his sister, Kara, from Kenari, where he was originally from. And he killed some guards in the process. So these guards are related to the Empire, and they're now hunting him down because they've flagged him as a suspect. And he is looking for a way to get off the planet and escape so that he can get away from all this stuff. And he owes some people some money and stuff like that. So that's that. So I want to play this spoiler thing here because what we just talked about and everything else we're going to talk about is going to be spoiler worthy. So, if you haven't watched it, please don't listen until you've watched episode 3.
Spoiler alert. Danger. You are about to be spoiled. This is your spoiler alert. We're about to talk candidly and explicitly about some TV shows or movies. If you have not watched them, please fast forward to the appropriate section. You will not be warned again because you will be spoiled.
All right, yeah, you'll be spoiled. So, sorry if you listened to the first few seconds there and got spoiled a little bit. Please go watch the episode or go listen to our previous 2 podcasts about the previous episodes as well, so you're all caught up. Because we don't want you to be spoiled. Anyway, so we don't have any news today, so we're going to get right into the episode. If in that recap I just did, if you remember, there's lots of tension around Cassian being a suspect in a murder that he did commit. So he's trying to get away from all that and hide. And our episode starts with Casa, which is the name they give him from Kenari. Apparently, he assumes Cassian as a different name, so it's not associated with Kenari. He's exploring the ship alone. His tribe has retreated after the death of their leader. and he's looking at the different things on the ship, and he's never seen anything like that because his tribe is pretty primitive, and he sees himself in one of the consoles, and I think personally that's possibly why he begins to um, break the ship because he thinks someone's there or he doesn't like what he sees. Um, so he's crushing every piece of glass he can find. It looks like he's not necessarily destroying the ship. He basically breaking the glass on everything, so he can't see himself. Um, and we find this is where he meets Marva. Marva and her husband, um, she has with him, and E2 uh, are all there, and they noticed that the ship crashed too, and they have masks on because they know there's some sort of possible danger. We've seen when Cassian was walking through the ship that there was all kinds of people, and they had weird coloring on their face and stuff, like something had poisoned them or killed them or something. Um, and we're to kind of assume that this is what devastated the entire planet of Canary, not where nobody can travel to this planet. That the official story is that it was a mining accident that caused the devastation of the entire planet. Um, so he's bashing these consoles, and Marva and her husband are trying to salvage a few things off the ship, and they hear him and try to speak to him, and of course, he's speaking in Canary, and they don't understand that. Um, and they try to reason with him, and he's pretty upset, and she decides that they're going to basically inject him with something that's gonna put him to sleep or tranquilize him, so they can take him and get their items that they want to scavenge or salvage and get out of there as quick as possible. Um, and she knows that the Empire is en route, so they're at a deadline. And so on and so on, and we see that whole scene, and now we're back into the present, and Cassian's shows up at Brasso's work and is looking in the background, kind of not wanting to be seen, but he wants to talk to Brasso, and he says that he's going to go. He's got a meeting and he's going to get the money to pay off um, his funds, and he's going to leave him with Marva, and he's going to find a way to get off the planet and pay off his debts. And then he leaves, and then we see Bix and Cassian meet up. And she says that this guy Luthen has arrived on the planet, and he will be meeting him at this spot. And she gives off a building name and number, and Cassian disappears, and we see Bix walking with this guy to the meeting spot. And she's basically reassuring Luthen that Cassian will be there, and he should be there already. And she's pretty confident that for now the Empire doesn't have Cassian's picture, but as we know, they actually do, because we've seen that hologram that the Deputy Inspector Cyril had. We see the soldiers' ships touch down in the city, and they begin to split up and get their positions. one group of them arrives at Marva's home to find Cassian. He's obviously not there. They start tearing the place up, turning upside down, and asking her to tell them where he's at. And they find another resident. It happens to be B2 EMO. And we hear Cassian using his communicator talking to the droid, and they can hear what he's saying. And Cassian's basically um, giving them information that they need, and he gives away his position and compromises Marva too. They immediately start tracking the signal with a signal tracker, and they find him uh, and are locked in. Uh, and we see, that Cassian has got this meeting with Luthen, um, and he's meeting with him, and we see a flash of Bix finding out the Empire's task force is on planet, and she tries to go head towards the building that she knows he's at to warn him, but it's too late. Um, Tim gets involved and tells her that Cassian can handle himself, um, and this is what is enough to get Bix to realize that Tim's the one that betrayed Cassian and put in the tip of where his location is. Um, so we're at the meeting, and Cassian's negotiating with um, the guy Luthen, and he offers another 1,000 credits to reveal how he got the unit. And Cassian basically says, "Well, I snuck on aboard. The Empire um, is so arrogant that they can't believe that someone would sneak on and get steal from them, and spit in their food and so on." Um, and we hear Luthen prophesize about how the Empire's reign will end at some point. And we find out here that Luthen's not really here to buy the unit. He's here to basically find out about more about Cassian, and possibly recruit him, or uh, force him to enter the rebellion. Um, he he knows a lot of information about Cassian already. He's done his research. He knows too much information, and Cassian gets kind of scared. Um, and there's a battle. The soldiers show up, and there's a couple soldiers. We get the comments about um, how Luthen has prepared himself for the meeting. He's ensured his exit, and taken care of his entrance, and he blows up the doors to the entrance, which we assume kills a couple of people of the guards, but a couple come in and begin firing and such. We see these look like big engines or transmissions that are hanging from the ceiling on chains. See a couple of those crash down and fall, and they shoot a couple of them off to kind of distract, or um, you know block some of the guards from firing at him. There's some up in the rafters shooting down. There's some on the ground shooting as well. Um, and Luthen's like, "Hey, after they get a little bit of calm, he's like, "Hey, do you have a comms unit? What is that for? You've been traced. They got here too fast." And Cassian gives up his comm unit, and Luthen crushes it on the ground. Uh, and Luthen says they need a plan to get out. Unfortunately, they were ambushed. Um, there's a big battle coming because they get reinforcements. So there's a big battle. Pew pew pew. We get the laser pistols and all that stuff firing, and more of these transmission slash engines falling, and Cassian is worried about the part he came to sell because he still doesn't realize that Luthen is here for more than the part. He doesn't really care about the part. He more cares about Cassian and recruiting him than anything. Um, so there's a couple scenes where we see him going back and forth trying to get that, and he gets wounded a couple times. He finally decides it's time to make an escape, and Luthen asks him how he plans to do that, and Cassian eventually says, "Okay, I do this, and this is how we get out." And we go over here, and he knows a guy that has some transport that they can use to get to Luthen's ship, that kind of thing. Um, so they go out on the streets, and uh, we see that the soldiers find Bix coming to warn Cassian, and they chain her to a pipe on a wall on the building and begin to interrogate her because they seem to know that she knows Cassian. Probably because it's in the dossier that she's a known associate. She's been in contact with him recently. Um, and Bix's boyfriend comes out. Tim comes out and tries to defend her and stop them from interrogating and chaining her, and possibly beating her to get information out of her. And they end up shooting him and killing him dead right in front of her. And she, of course, you know, has feelings for him, so she's very upset and very sad. And not long after that, uh, we see a scene where Luthen and Cassian are in a garage, and there's um, two or more modes of transportation there. And he asks Cassian which one he would choose, and we don't see right away which one he chooses. But in the next scene, we see a shuttle type of transport, small transport that comes out, and it's all closed in, so you can't see inside. And it's coming towards the guards and everything, and they start firing. Oh, they're excited because pew 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 pew. This is our guy. Pew 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 pew. And they shoot it, and it flips over on top of itself, and they're all excited. Yeah, we got him. Oh yeah, let's go up and get there. And they stand up there and start to inspect the ship, and it explodes. Boom! And of course, we think a couple more people are killed, and we see a scene where the deputy is looks pretty distraught. He's like, "Man, I screwed this whole thing up. You know, uh, I've got all these people killed, and still don't have our guy. We've been tricked again." Um, and there's a little bit of seeing of that, and him being distressed, and him kind of looking back at the explosion and what happened and all that, and such. And then all of a sudden, Cassian and Luthen come out on a speeder bike and make their escape. They try to fire at him a little bit, but they just there's not very many of them, and they're too fast. And we get scenes where Cassian and Luthen are traveling on their speeder bike uh, through the back parts of the planet to get to his ship. Um, and we see some of Bix's friends come in and release her. And she is pretty upset that Tim is dead. She ends up going by his body and crying um, and so on. Cassian gets basically the better of the deputy. Um, they get out and escape. And then we see a scene where in between here where Marva is um, leaving Canary with Cassian as a child. And he wakes up and sees what's happening, and um, of course, is amazed. And are we in space? Oh, and he's just in shock and awe. Um, and I think the combination of these three episodes here that we've seen, they all kind of build up and set us up for what's going to happen the rest of the season. So I think now that we've met Luthen and Cassian is off world, and supposedly his debts have been paid. We don't see it for sure or not, but um, we're gonna get to see more of the inner workings of what happening to build the rebellion. And obviously Cassian is a integral part of that from the beginning. Um, and we see that Cassian is a pretty smart individual in some respects, but he is not. He doesn't have the most charisma or um, biggest personality. Um, so yeah, this episode was about 46 minutes as well, and it was a pretty good episode. There was a lot more action, more of what we were expecting, kind of more of what I was looking for in the beginning of episode one and two. Um, but we needed to hear those stories from one and two to kind of build up to this story and find out what's our background and our you know meeting of Cassian and Luthen, which is apparently one of the first members of the Rebel Alliance, or um, leading member. We don't know for sure yet, but I'm sure we'll find out real soon. I'm sure the next couple episodes will have all that information. Um, want you guys to give us. I'm gonna take a break first, and then we're gonna talk about some feedback.
And now, a word from our sponsors. Does your bald head take a beating from shaving, the sun, and all of the things Mother Nature throws your way? Do ladies look at your dry, sunburnt head and cringe? Well, guys, there's a new product out there in the head care market that promises to rock your head. I mean dome. Looks soft, clean, and touchable, and it's trending #1 through social media and on YouTube. Introducing Dome Armor. It conditions with moisturizers like coconut oil and shea butter, protects with sunscreen up to SPF 45, and enhances your already sexy dome into an irresistible hands-on experience. Keep your dome safe and protected. Get Dome Armor, now available in fresh bacon scent. Sure to get the ladies
bacon
to come running in fine stores like Walmart and Lowe's. Oh,
Yeah.
and for those still struggling with minor hair loss, try Grow Gain. This product will refresh, revitalize, and regrow hair on your dome.
That's right, dome armor. And don't forget, I should try the grow game, but I've kind of given up. I don't care anymore. I like my hair short, so I, trim the sides and stuff pretty good. But dome armor is good. It protects you. You don't get sunburnt. You don't get blistering from sunburn or any of that stuff. So Let's do this.
Feedback at KyleJohansson.us. That's feedback, KaileJohansen.us.
All right, feedback. Yeah, there's that email address you can send us feedback to. We also have multiple other ways through our website. On the left-hand side, wrong side. Left-hand side of the website, there's a link for feedback. Simple form where you can give us the name you want to be called by, and then fill in your feedback and send it off to us through that. That's a Google Docs document. It puts your information into a spreadsheet. We do not collect anything but the two items that we ask for: the name that you want to be called by and your feedback. We don't get any information on your IP address or your email address or any of that stuff. There is a option there where it says you could log in to your account, and that is only if you're filling out your feedback and you want to save it and finish it later. You log in there and it'll take care of that for you. But yeah, you submit that to us. We have the question of the week, which I believe our question of the week is Cassian now a part of the Rebel Alliance, or is there more that he has to do to become a member? We're going to put that there. So once you answer or vote on the question, there'll be some comments, a comment section down below that you can fill out comments there. We're on social media. We have two accounts that you can get to. One is called at super_duper_pod. That's where we post everything we can about the podcast. And then there's another one called Juan's Cantina, which if you listen to episode 2, I think that's where we advertised Juan's Cantina. That's just a made up sponsor that we have. And so you can send us, you can reply to us, send to us feedback through there. We also have our episodes are on video on YouTube, and there's the comments section there that you can fill out comments there as well. So please send those in. We need to get your feedback so we can have a more dynamic and responsive interaction with you on our podcast, because we would really enjoy lots more discussion and debates about different things going on, or being told that we're completely wrong, just whatever it takes. So let us know, send us some feedback. And again, this week, sorry, Scott is ill this week, so he's not available. We're going to go ahead and end this show. Thank you for listening to the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast. Please visit our website where you can play current and past episodes. That's https://RABR KyleJohansson.us. That's KaileJohansson.us. On the left-hand side is a navigation menu. You can use this to learn how to load the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast on your Android or Apple phone and tablet. And we have direct links to our podcast on Apple and Google Podcasts. Please participate by connecting to our social media, answering questions of the week, or submitting feedback directly from the site. Again, all of these are available at the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room website at RABR.KaileJohansson.us. This podcast in no way is approved, sponsored, or owned by Lucasfilms Ltd., Disney, Disney Plus, or any of its subsidiaries. All opinions are solely owned by Kyle and or Scott and in no way express the views or opinions of their past or present employers. Views and opinions are not supported or restricted by Lucasfilms Ltd., Disney, Disney Plus, or any of its subsidiaries. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of this podcast and its affiliate sites without consent of Super Duper Podcast Network and its host is prohibited. I am Kyle John Hansen, and this is Andrew Scott Sutton. Say goodbye now. Bye bye. Well, hopefully Scott will be back next week, so look forward to it. And thank you for listening.